much more attractive brother. I first met Andrew when I was 14 months old. My mother brought him back from the hospital and she pointed our car carriers together, and the first thing we both did was cry. It's all been uphill from there. Through his whole life, Andrew has always loved to tinker. During our childhood, I saw him build a semi-functional zip line, a half pipe in our backyard, and most recently, he welded a lawnmower engine to a bicycle and turned it into a motorcycle, which he tooled around the neighborhood. In addition to tinkering, he's also always loved to experiment. He performed an experiment once where he found out what would happen when you punctured a trampoline with a pocket knife. Turns out it ruins the trampoline. After that, he did another experiment where he made a pipe bomb and buried it in the Hugentovers' front yard. It caught their shrubs on fire, but thankfully the police were not called. But one thing he has never had to experiment with was love. When he first brought Andrew home, I thought, well, she won't be around long when she meets us. But here we are 5 years later at his wedding, so I guess something about us worked out. So Andrew, I'm happy you finally found someone, and you're the first of us to do it. So here's a long life, a happy marriage, and a good night for you too.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrew's younger brother, John, and I have some embarrassing things to say about him too. So, some of you may not know, growing up, we were all homeschooled together, and of course, 10-ish years sharing a classroom and a teacher brought us a little closer than maybe 3 young boys could stand at times. So of course, I have a few stories of how we didn't always get along. I remember being tied to the tree in the front yard and left there. I remember a few lightsaber duels turned into hurt fingers, a bit of thrown plastic merchandise. It was a fun time, actually. But I also remember the times I tried hanging out with you and your friends. And sure, you dished me a few times, but a lot of times you didn't, and that was pretty cool. So, I remember you teaching me how to longboard, even though I was terrible at it, or letting me help with the haunted house you put on with your friends every year. And even more specific, the time when I was altar serving with you and I messed up the bells. And I was embarrassed. The whole church heard me mess up the bells. But after Mass, you told me that the priest had done a very specific prayer, and I'd actually done it at the right time. And I believed you, even though it was an all-faced lie. But looking back, I can appreciate all the little ways that you used to look out for me, even though you never needed to be recognized for it. The funny thing about Andrew is, it takes a long time to really get to know him, because there's so many little things about him, all these great qualities that he would never be caught dead bragging about. Now that I'm older, I catch myself doing a lot of things that I see my brothers do. I'll do something and I'll say, well, that was Andrew right there. Or, that's something Peter would have said. And yeah, sometimes it's irritating, but really overall, I'm proud to say that I carry a little bit of both you with me everywhere I go. Since Andrew's met Mirna, I've never seen such a change in him. It takes a great woman to bring out the most in a man, but a truly great relationship is one where the best is brought out of one another. So please, raise a glass. Congratulations to the brother who is sometimes there, and to the woman who stole his heart. May your new life together forever emanate the love you have for one another, and may you find comfort and peace in each other through every season you'll share. To Andrew and Mirna.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for being here. My name is Mary, and you can either look at me or look at my baby, and she can entertain you. So I think she's done a fair share of that this wedding. But we're just so thrilled that you're here. Both families are. The joy that comes together here in the wedding, and we're just so excited and so happy that Mirna and Andrew are now one. Thank God. My friendship with Mirna started when she was about 8 or 9 years old and I was maybe 18, 19. And I have a sister her age, and so when I met her, I thought, hi, I have a sister your age, well, you can just be another sister, So, because in Coptic communities, where everybody's somehow related. You can go to any church, and you ask this person, like, who are you? And they're like, I'm the brother of this person, and they're all related. So, it's kind of how it is. So I automatically fell in love with Mirna, and her passion to seek God was just so evident from day one. And it showed up when I decided to go to kids camp. I was the Sunday school teacher at our local church, and so there wasn't very many kids. There was like ages 1 to 14, or maybe, like the oldest maybe was 14. There's maybe like 8 kids, and there was only one class, and it was me. And so, are you okay, baby? I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry. So anyway, I decided, okay, well, this is great. We lived in Oklahoma. There's no other churches in Oklahoma about ours, and it was just a great desire for us to go and meet, other Coptic people and like get to know our culture and our identity, and it was just really fun. So I thought, okay, let's go on a trip. So I asked all of the elementary school kids, like, you want to go? And Mirna was like, yes, I want to go. And it was in San Antonio. So that meant we had to drive like 8 hours from Oklahoma to get there. And automatically I called Uncle Ashraf and I talked to him and talked to Hanan, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna take your daughter to San Antonio. And I probably thought that they thought I was crazy, but because I was like 19 and barely drove for 2 years, and I'm gonna take all these kids to San Antonio. But they agreed, and they didn't even give me a hint of hesitancy. They were like, okay, anything for God. If you want my daughter to go and meet, God, like in a camp, like, good, take her. And I was just like, okay, I'll take her. So they showed up. They drove I don't know how many hours to come from Arkansas to Oklahoma just for me to take her for another 8-hour trip to San Antonio. Well, she didn't know. I met my husband in San Antonio, but she actually came for Jesus. So I actually didn't meet my husband there. But anyway, that just shows that how much, she was all in for Christ from day one, and he just grew in her heart, and made her flourish to the beautiful bride she is today. It's so great to see that. I know that God works through people's services, but for me, just to see a glimpse of that today is very humbling. So, just so glad and so happy for you, Andrew, and I think you found a wife of great value. And she's just true to herself and true to her Lord and faithful, and now she's going to be true to you too. So thankful. Congratulations, Mirna and Andrew.
Thank you to my brother John, brother Peter, Mary. Those were very good words. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here. And this has been many years in the making, and I'm so happy to be here. I think I speak for both of us. Thank you. Now, who wants some cake?